Just Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. It's too sweet. Let's continue on with my favorite players from every NHL team of all time. Today, I'm giving you another one. Since I gave you the Rangers before this, I'm giving you the Ottawa Senators. And thankfully, since there is no way, shape, or form any resemblance to the original Ottawa Senators, I can use the of all time title on this team. So, let's talk about it. It's a brief little history lesson for you. The Ottawa Senators have been in the league since 1992. And so I've grown up with this team. And as I said in the beginning, there's no relation to the original Ottawa Senators. The only thing they have in common is the name. That's it. Occasionally, these Senators rely on the old Senators look for jersey sales or, classic games. But beyond that, no relation. Now, while they weren't always successful as a team, they have been to the Stanley Cup once, losing it in 2007 to Anaheim, but the fact they made it is something else. So in the brief time they've been around, there's been a lot of Senators come and go. And here's my favorite ones of them. Starting off in net, 2 defensemen, 3 forwards. As always, feel free to give me yours in the comments below. Starting in net with Ray Emery. Yeah, a lot of people will say, hey, he's only a flash-in-the-pan goalie, but you know what? He at least was in Ottawa for 5 seasons. And of the 2 good seasons he did have, they were over 25-win seasons, plus a trip to the Stanley Cup Finals. But I will say a lot of him, it was his personality, and that's what he was, a great personality. But, it brought butts in the seats. So, how can you argue that? Starting defense with Tim Stützle. Now, hear me out. Yeah, I know he's only in his 3rd year, but his stats are going up. His productivity is going up. His contribution to play is only getting better. And he's German. So naturally, it's almost like putting him in by default because of that. But I see good things for this kid. Hopefully I'm not wrong. But I think he's going to be a great player in the next 5 years. It wouldn't be right if I didn't include Carlson. It really wouldn't. And come on, 9 seasons, 2-time Norris Trophy winner. It gives you at least 60 points, if not more. I think there was a couple of 80, 90 point seasons in there. And, being one of the most reasons that they had playoff success when they made the playoffs, when they were this close in 2017, before they lost in Game 7 in the conference finals to Pittsburgh, but that's irrelevant. Well, no, it's pretty damn good. I kind of miss seeing him in Ottawa just because when he was healthy, when he was on, and there was no stopping him. Great player for the Senators. Start the forwards with their current captain, and probably the more likable Tkachuk in Brady. I wished I could say I was joking when I said that, because, really, I'm on the forget Matthew Tkachuk bandwagon, because Brady's, I think, a better player overall. Yeah, he's only in his 5th year. He hasn't hit his brother's numbers yet, but give him time. I'm sure it's not far behind. His playmaking skills can only get better, and the fact that he notched 60 points last year, he's given you 40 points over 3 years, or over 3 seasons. So it's not wrong to expect a better spike in productivity out of Brady. And I'm willing to bet money that it'll come soon. Adding Jason Spezza to the list. I honestly thought this guy was going to retire as Senator until he didn't. But in 11 seasons, he was at least good for 50 or more points. I think there was the 2007-8 season where he scored over 90 points. Hell of a playmaker. He could skate, and he could skate really good. And when his hands were moving the way he wanted them to and the way he could make them work, oh my goodness. Highlight reels were not uncommon. And yeah, if there was ever a favorite senator to ever have on your anybody's list, there's always Spezza. So let's finish off with a guy who was pretty much a lifer, spending all but 1 year with the Senators, that being Daniel Alfredsson. I mean, come on. 14 out of 15 years, over 1,000 games, over 400 goals, over 1,000 points, a Calder Memorial Trophy, a King Clancy Memorial Trophy, a Mark Messier Leadership Award, multiple All-Star Game appearances, part of the Cup run of '07, and just overall exciting to watch. And to think that this guy was drafted late, not in the first 2 rounds. So if there's ever such thing as a draft steal, he's your perfect example of what a draft steal is. And really, why Ottawa was good when they were good. And that about does it. Feel free to give me your favorite Ottawa Senators of all time. Another one, just hockey shows. Well, thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you're right here. That's a great thing. So let's not take that for granted at all. Let me know you're here. Give me a thumbs up. You want to say hi? You like this video? Thumbs up does everything. That red button, you know what it does. You know where we're going, and you know how to make it feel. So why not? Socials, they're in the description down below. So now I have 4 teams left. And again, the goal is before the end of the year. So look for 4 more of these. But either way, in the meantime, in between time, I look for your Trev. Nada.